Welcome back. Now, on the last leg of the show, I'm going to be interacting with a member of Democracy Hub, one of the demonstrators who said, well, enough is enough. Stop galamsey. She is going to share her experience with us. She's in the person of Felicity Nelson. She's a social justice activist. Felicity, good morning.
Benjamin.
You're looking dapper in your outfit.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's talk about what happened on the day. Joining the demonstrators and everything else. Just give us a sequence of events, briefly.
Well, okay, I guess I'll probably want to start from when I was arrested.
Okay.
Like that moment. So, in the morning on Sunday...
And this was day one of the demonstration?
No, I'm talking about day two.
Day two of the demonstration.
Day two of the demonstration. So, I know in the morning I was home and I saw that there had been a few arrests at the demonstration site. There had been that whole incident with the van, the police van, and, you know, when the police van tried to actually, that van actually had all the supplies, so the water, the placards for the demonstrators. All the supplies were in the van, and then the police were trying to tow the van away. So when they were trying to tow it away, you know, some of the demonstrators were trying to stop that from happening. So they were actually in front, and then the police towing car was actually going to run some of the people over. So because they were stopping it, they wouldn't like actually remove the people first and then try and tow the car away.
In the car,
yes,
were attempting to run some of you over?
Yes.
With a police vehicle?
Yes,
with a truck or what?
With the towing van.
Okay, with the towing van.
Yeah. So that's when, and then, but this is all I remember, I wasn't there. So these are just from videos I saw at home. Okay. And then I saw that, you know, there was that video of Oliver taking the key out, and I saw some arrests. And I saw the little girl in the bus who had been taken in the bus in the City FM, I think it was City FM, they were asking the 8-year-old child. So I was like, oh my God. So that's when I actually said, no, I need to leave home and actually go and find out what's happening, because I felt, as someone who's been, you know, part of this like Democracy Hub, Fix the Country journey, I just felt like a responsibility seeing, and a lot of the times when people are arrested and people who, let's say, are less privileged to get arrested, sometimes the police can be quite brutal with them. So I just felt like, no, I need to be there just to kind of make sure everything's fine. So I got there around 1-ish, 2-ish, and then we were kind of waiting around. So probably by then, it was probably about 10, 15 of us. So myself, I'm a governor, a friend of mine, and just a few other people. So we're standing like off the road, on the side of the road, and we're just kind of waiting, because by then, but this was so we're just kind of waiting around till about 3. And then the police had issued a statement saying they were doing a manhunt for Oliver, which I found quite interesting because, you know, it went from nothing to manhunt. Not like, oh, you're wanted, you need to report at a police station. It went to manhunt. And then so we're still kind of waiting around, not really sure what to do, but we're still like, okay, you know, still I'm saying now. So I was actually doing a live at the time to kind of say to people, I was doing a Facebook live, say to people, look, this is what's happening, we're here. Look around, the police are over there, you know, be encouraged, you can come, it's safe, blah, 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 which is quite funny now. And then as I was doing the Facebook Live, I saw the police approaching. But remember, I'm on the side, I'm not on the road, I'm like next to a wall on the opposite side, away from the hospital, like, so I'm just thinking, okay, the police are approaching me, no problem. So honestly, in my head, I'm thinking they're probably gonna come and say, you guys need to leave. Worst case scenario.
But then you got arrested.
Yes, then they arrested me and everybody else, people who had nothing to do with it. There was a man, you know, who was next to me buying coconut. He was taken along. A trotro mate was carried along, who was an Okada rider who was like picking up customers, was taken as well. So they just came and just swooped. It was just a general swoop of people. So again, they bring us together and I'm thinking, they're just probably going to say, okay, you guys need to go home. Next minute, they put us in. So as they take me, I was holding my phone. So they actually wrestled my phone out of my hands. And we walked towards this bus. And they actually tried to, like, they were pushing me. They were very aggressively pushing me. I said, you don't need to push me. You've told me I should walk. I'm walking. And then they actually hit Amma. One of them hit Amma on the back. So this is Elom, on the back of her neck. So she's like, why are you hitting me? I'm a governor. Yes, I'm a governor I'm talking about. We walked they kind of sit us all down in a circle. And then I'm like, what's going on here? So they're like, where are your phones? Taking everybody's phones. And then the guy whose wife was on admission at the hospital was like, I'm not part of this demonstration. Can 2 of the policemen come into the hospital with me? and confirm that I'm not a protester. My wife is on admission. She's just had a baby. And I was just there buying coconut. Can someone come with me? Hey, shut up. And they bundled us all into the police van. So this is a man that his wife had just given birth. He's come trying to find money to finish paying off her bills that had been incurred at the hospital. And he was also...
So all of you were bundled
yes,
into
there was about...
this.
So when they took us, there was 18 of us.
18 of you. Where were you taken? For the sake of time, we have to accelerate. Where were you taken and what charges were leveled against
you? So they took us to the police, the headquarters, not the one in the central, the main regional headquarters. And then... at this point, they've never said you're under arrest. They've not said anything. Just, what's your name? I'm like, am I under arrest? If you don't know that you're under arrest by now, you should come to the realization.
That's what the police told you?
Yes. Nothing about, they hadn't said anything about...
No telling you about your rights or anything?
Absolutely nothing. And this applied to every single person. They did not...
At least those you know?
I was there.
I mean, at least those in that number?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And then I get to the police, they take me to Railways police station. And they say, okay, well, then they said, you're here, what's your name? And I said, why am I here? What's the reason? Am I under arrest? Why am I here? Then I said, you need to give me a phone call. So it was only at the Railways police station I got to make a phone call to inform my family that I've been arrested so they can inform my lawyers and stuff like that. So then an investigator comes around, you need to write a statement. I said, well, I'm not writing a statement without my lawyer being present. It was on that statement I actually realized, and it said on the statement that under arrest for illegal assembly. So that was what the investigator had written on his sheet. And he said, well, you can write that you're not writing a statement because your lawyer is not here. I said, no, I'm not writing a statement. And then they just put me in the cell. And then he came back about 10 minutes later, wanting to take a picture of me in handcuffs. So he came out, here, take a picture. So then in the picture, I'm like, in the handcuffs, I smiled, and he got angry. No, you can't smile, close your mouth. And I said, you can't tell me, you want to take a picture of me. First, I don't even want to take this picture. But if you want to insist on taking the picture, you can't tell me how I need to look in the picture. Is that the
famous picture we've seen?
No.
That's a different one.
That's a different one. So this one, I guess it didn't work for the purposes in which they wanted to take the picture for, so it never, made it into the public light.
So let's cut to the chase. You were taken there, the Railways police station. Yeah. From there, where were you taken? Eventually, you ended up at the cantonment police station. So I was at
Railways police station for 2 days. I was meant to go to court on the Tuesday. When they did the list for the court, somehow my name was not part of the list. So actually, before I was produced in front of a judge on the Wednesday. So it exceeded the 48-hour, how you're meant to detain someone for 48 hours before, yes. So then on that day, because they couldn't find me on the list, somehow I wasn't on the list, they just said, take her to Bachuna. So I ended up at Bachuna police station for another night. And the next day I went to court, and then we were remanded until the 8th. That's when I ended up at cantonment. So that's the journey.
How long was it that you were in police custody?
17 days.
17 days?
Yes.
2 weeks and 3 days?
Yes.
There were calls to grant you bail. I heard some people, I believe I interviewed Nana Komia, CEO of STC, and he made mention of the fact that some of you hadn't shown remorse and all of that. When people were calling for you to be released, among others. How do you react to that?
Well, this idea, what am I showing remorse for? Like, on my charges, they have stuff like assaulting a police officer. I have not assaulted any police officer. Destroying party paraphernalia. I wasn't even there when the party paraphernalia, I saw that stuff online. So when you say you're not showing remorse, this idea that someone who's protesting to end something as important as Galamsey, and you want people to be massaging your egos. I don't exist to massage egos. I will not massage the egos of anybody to make them feel good, because I know that what I'm standing for is the right thing. I am proud of myself. I am happy to lose my liberty for the sake of Ghana. If it has to be because of Galamsey, I'm not going to sit back and allow people to silence me. I will not be silenced. So if people feel like I need to show remorse, I'm not going to show them any remorse, because I am not remorseful.
Bail was posted for you.
Yes.
And eventually. So basically, you don't believe in those charges that have been,
absolutely not,
pressed against
bogus.
You. What's the way forward in court? But bail also took quite a while before you got out.
Because there was
quickly on that.
Yes. Bail was granted around 11 o'clock Monday morning. The court order only got to the police 2 p.m. on Tuesday. As at 2 p.m., we were at court on that day, so all the police who needed to go and do the verification process for the sureties, all the investigators were at the court premises. So, and we only left the court premises around 4:30. And the court registrar had actually said to our families and the people who wanted to do sureties that, oh, on Wednesday, I'm not coming to work. So basically, that would mean that, if anything, would only be released by Thursday. And that's why I did the post, because I was trying to show and highlight how the system, even though you've been granted bail on Monday, as at Tuesday evening, nothing has happened. The process hasn't moved along anywhere. And I'm not...
Do you think it was an attempt to still show you something?
Oh, show you where the power lies. Absolutely. But even if it's not just about that and it's complete incompetence or inefficiency, it still needs to stop. And it needs to be highlighted and awareness needs to be drawn. It's not just about me, because these are things that are affecting everyday Ghanaians who end up within this system. So it's not just about me.
I want you to make this final point before we go. The BBC, among others, captured this in different ways, maybe ignominiously. But tell me about Benjamin Darko, very briefly, and then Oliver Barker-Vormawor, who has still been granted.
So Benjamin did not. Benjamin is a friend of mine. We've worked together for like 2 years. Benjamin did not attend this protest. He didn't attend day 1, day 2, day 3. He went when Oliver was admitted in hospital after being arrested. He went to visit him in the hospital, and he was arrested at the police hospital. Benjamin did not attend the protest, but he's one of the conveners for the protest, but he did not actually attend it. So Benjamin has 4 charges. So it just shows you that they're targeting certain people. Yes, there was randomers who got dragged along in order to try and mask the real message, but it's just about trying to silence people who are standing up for something.
Oliver Barker-Vormawor.
Oliver still not been granted bail. Yesterday, Oliver was ill. He was rushed to the hospital. When he got to the hospital, the police, when you're a suspect in custody, the police is responsible for all of your hospital bills. The police could not afford the tests and the medication. They couldn't afford it. So Oliver was taken back to the police cells. As we're speaking, he's back in the police cells because the police who have kept him, the system which has kept him under remand cannot afford to even take care of him. So if Oliver dies right now, it's on the system and it's on the state.
Felicity, we'll find more opportunities of interacting with you, but thank you so much for joining this conversation, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you for having me.
One brave young woman.
And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's supporting us, who's kept the conversation on Galamsey going. Don't give up on the conversation. It's extremely important. Galamsey needs to end now. And free Oliver.
Felicity Nelson is a social justice activist. She joined the conversation with us this morning. Well, so for me, I'm heading out there to join my fellow Catholics as we hit the streets. You're joining us too?
Yes, I'm joining the Catholics.
Okay, all right. So I'll see you there. Up next, we have Joy News Desk. Do stay for that.